Professor Leila Patel, the Director of the Centre for Social Development in Africa at the University of Johannesburg, was recently awarded the Women in Leadership Award at a UWC Alumni Awards ceremony. She's joining us on the line to speak about the award and to give us some commentary on the ongoing student protests. Professor Leila Patel, thank you so much for joining us and congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
Was it a surprise? Was it something that you were anticipating?
Well, I'm really honored to receive the award. I'm a very proud UWC alumna, and I was there many years ago. In fact, I started in 1973, and I graduated and left the university in 1977. So it was a long time, and it was the most formative part of my life, being at UWC.
Now, as a UWC alum, wouldn't you just give us your opinion on the protests that are happening, especially at your institution and around the country?
You know, in 1973, when I was a first-year student at UWC, there was the first student boycotts in the country against unequal education, and we participated in the boycotts. And throughout the 80s, you know, student movements have grown and played a huge role in bringing about change. So I think that students have achieved a great victory, that they should be applauded, and that their concern for disadvantaged students who are denied accessible and affordable higher education should be applauded. So I'm viewing it very positively. I know that there are difficulties in realizing this with budgetary questions and so on, but I do think that it's been an important step forward.
Of course, as we've seen these protests unfold and develop, we've seen absolutely extraordinary women leaders coming to the forefront, and I think specifically of WITS's SRC leaders. Tell us your opinion on these young women who are doing such an extraordinary job leading the protests.
I'm obviously very proud of them. I do think, though, that there were a lot of women involved in the 70s and 80s in students and community struggles. But it's also important that they're more visible today, and that they're playing also leadership roles, which is wonderful.
Now, you're the Director of the Centre for Social Development in Africa at the University of Johannesburg. Tell us a little bit about this centre.
Well, I am the Director of the Centre for Social Development in Africa. We started in 2004. We do a wonderful research in a whole range of areas, particularly poverty and vulnerability, children and youth. We do a lot of work on gender and social grants, among others. We have a solid cohort of postgraduate students who study with us at the centre and work on our various projects. And we've achieved a lot in the 10 years that we were established.
Now, this month, the second edition of your book entitled Social Welfare and Social Development in South Africa will be released. Tell us about that.
It is my third book on a similar topic. I started with my first book was in 1993, published by Raven Press on welfare policy for future South Africa. And in 2005, I followed it up with looking at how social welfare was evolving in the country. And this is an update 10 years later. And it should be released within the next week or so.
Congratulations on your award and on the publishing of your second edition of this book. And thank you for speaking to us today.
Thank you.